Hey guys, it's Kelsey and I'm here with my first design team layout for Festive Friday. This challenge is for Day of the Dead, so we had a list of 10 things that we could pull to incorporate on our layout. We only had to use 3 of them, and I thought this was super fun because Halloween is right around the corner, and so I thought that was super appropriate. The list we had to pull from was skulls or sugar skulls, black, bright colors, sparkle, fruit, marigolds or flowers, candles, masking or stencils, remembrance, and wreaths. So that gave me a lot to work with. Right away, I was drawn towards the sparkly and the black and the bright colors. So right away, I had 3 right there. I realized after I made this layout that me and the other ladies on the design teams all went for pretty much glitter cardstock, which I thought was super appropriate. I don't know what it is, but this black glitter cardstock really made me feel like Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, like perfect. And I had this kind of sunset paper left over from my Gina collection with Felicity Jane, and I thought the bright colors in that background mixed with this glittery black cardstock just looked so cool together, and it gave me all the feels for Day of the Dead. So that's what I'm rocking with. I kind of already have 3 right there. I really love the bright colors with the black and sparkly black to boot, so I kind of feel like those are my 3. I do end up having some scraps of the floral in this collection, so I'm pulling in the flowers as well to make 4. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm starting. I knew right away I kind of wanted to do strips of this glittery black paper on the sides. I was really tempted to do a large chunk of this black glitter paper, but after I realized that the sunset paper was the paper I was going to use, I couldn't bear to cover up that much of it. So I decided to use the glitter stock on the sides. I cut a few strips of the glitter stock. I thought I'd have a few strips going up the left side, but after I glued the first one down, I actually really liked that there's only a skinny strip on the left and then a kind of thicker piece on the right. So I pretty much left it like that, and then I matted the photo in the glitter stock as well to bring that shimmer and that dark color into the middle of the page. So that's where I started. Other than that, I am pulling in whatever scraps I have from the Gina collection and just trying to figure out my layers. Again, I have some of these bows, some chipboard hearts, and the puffy stickers from this collection that I'm going to try and pull in. I think I only managed to get 1 bow and 1 chipboard heart on here by the end of it, but that's okay. I knew I was using those materials though, and then I had a scrap of a black doily left over from a previous page, and I thought that just felt so Day of the Dead as well, and pulled some more black into all of these bright colors. And then since I was kind of going with laying these black over these bright colors, I also had a few scraps of some vellum with black pattern on it, so I thought that would be really cool to pull in as well. So you see I have a few scraps there I'm going to tuck on either side, but I think it looks so cool. And you know, Felicity Jane, you guys know, you've seen my previous Felicity Jane layouts. I always try and pull in a lot of white just because I feel like that's just the vibe Felicity Jane gives me and makes me want to do. But doing black instead, I'm going to tell you, it was fun, and it really bumps up the colors in these collections. There's so much contrast, and it gives such a cool vibe. So this was the first photo I took once we landed on Maui, Hawaii. So you guys know my brother lives on Oahu, Hawaii, and we went to visit him, and I don't think he'd ever been to Maui, so we did spend 1 night on Maui, so 2 days of adventure. So I made sure to get a picture, and I kind of already had this Maui, the Valley Isle sticker from Snapchat printed on the photo, so that's just what I'm going to use as my title. It's there, it goes. It's very bright and colorful, and the filter I used basically turned my photo mostly black and white, other than these kind of rainbow light hues you see. So that I thought that was really cool and went really well with kind of this idea. And I'm so stoked how these inspirational things, like, it makes me feel Day of the Dead, man, but it's a Hawaii layout and it works. And I think that is just so cool how you don't have to do a themey layout. You don't have to do a Halloween layout to kind of use these inspiration ideas to give yourself a really cool vibe on a page. And it's not like if I was flipping through my album, I would see this Hawaii page and be like, this looks like Day of the Dead, but knowing that's where the inspiration comes from, I think that is so cool. So I kind of like the layers I already had. I did make that floral scrap a banner, and I'm kind of just gluing down what I already had set down. Excuse me. For whatever reason, I was liking how the photo hanging off the edge was looking. I kind of thought that was an interesting, unexpected placement for the photo, having it hanging off this larger layer. So I'm just running with it. I am basically just gluing everything down where you had it before. I like having these banner shelves, you guys know that, so that's kind of where I'm going to start building off some embellishment. But for right now, I'm just trying to piece together this page, and I'm still gutting because I love Felicity Jane. I can't bear to cover up papers when it's not going to be seen anyways, so it'll take me a minute. I am just going to gut this background paper before I glue down all these larger layers, so I have that sunset piece for another page. I only have one 12 by 12 left of the Gina collection, though, so I might only get one more layout out of that collection. But it's okay. Felicity Jane goes with other Felicity Janes, so I'll just use whatever scraps are left with other collections that I have. And then I did feel like it was kind of weird that the vellum was only these little strips on the side. I wanted to make it look like it was a larger piece, so I did kind of cut the bottom parts of the vellum to stretch to the bottom of that floral banner, just to make it look like that was a larger piece of paper than it really was. I just wanted the vellum kind of more. But I think that's a really cool touch. I don't use pattern vellum that often, but it's really cool when you do, especially if it's on a more neutral background like this, because you can really see the pattern. But I really like, especially on this kind of gradient ombre background, you can see that through that texture. So there we go. Got to get these little bottom pieces down there, and then I think I will gut the background and glue everything down. I think. I am creating this during the Secret Not Secret party weekend, so I'm still using my October 10 items list. So that's kind of all you see me pull in some other things too a little bit later on, but I'm really just trying to stick with this Day of the Dead theme. But at this point, I kind of feel like I got it. Like, I got my glitter black, I got my bright colors, I got my florals. So I'm trying to kind of think about how I want to finish this page. I know for sure I want to pull in that yellow bow that comes in this collection, because I thought that really added a pop of color, especially because there is this black section next to the photo where I have this black doily and a scrap of that glitter cardstock that I cut into a banner, and I really wanted something bright to sit there to kind of break it up. And so the contrast between that bright yellow bow and these black layers in the background just make it pop that much more. So you'll see once I kind of get that glued down what I mean. But first, I'm going to glue all of these layers down to the background, and then I'm trying to remember what part I do next, because I know there's more. Let me piece this together really quick, though. I wanted to make sure, too, I was being really finicky about where I place this. The banner, the floral banner, the part on the right where it overlaps the glitter, the black glitter, I wanted to make sure that you did not see the pattern paper in that fishtail, because that drives me bonkers when I do that on my page and you get a little snippet of a pattern behind that fishtail. So that's why I made sure to ooch it over so you only saw the black. But other than that, there is that yellow bow. I love how that looks. And then I also had some washi tape that was black butterflies. I thought that would be really cool texture to add, so I did run that underneath that glitter cardstock fishtail banner as well. I try really hard too to use these puffy stickers. These puffy stickers come in the Gina collection, and I have yet to use any of them, and I have one 12 by 12 of this collection left, so I don't know if they're getting used up with this collection. They might just have to be thrown in with another Felicity Jane collection to use. But I did have another scrap of this floral, so I did just decide to fussy cut a few of the flowers out. I wanted to more than just use a flower scrap to incorporate the flowers from the inspiration list. So I felt like fussy cutting and using flowers as a die cut kind of gave an extra floral emphasis from the inspiration. So I fussy cut those two out that were on that scrap. I'm going to layer those up next to the black doily just to kind of beef up that little embellishment cluster a little bit. And then I think you see that yellow chipboard heart that I have at the top right hand corner of the photo. So I really like how the yellow was mirrored up there as well. So I'll glue that down really quick. And then I think I only have a few more things to go. I know I want to pull in some black stitching because it is Felicity Jane. and we're going with black instead of white. So I was like, okay, let's do some black stitching. So you will see me in a minute. I speed it up a lot so I don't drive you guys crazy with how long it takes me to stitch. But I am going to do a long row of cross stitching across the entire fishtail banner through the photo. I think that's really cool. It kind of pulls all the elements together, and I really like how it breaks up the photo a little bit. It goes right between the word Maui and then the Valley Isle, which is the subtitle. And then I also just wanted to do a little bit of stitching up by the yellow chipboard heart. So I just did one row of back stitching up there just to pull that black and that texture and make that spot a little bit more interesting as well. So I think that looks really cool though. I love cross stitching. I love bringing in this hand stitched effect, especially with Felicity Jane. I just feel like it goes and it belongs, and I don't know if I've done a Felicity Jane and not stitched on it yet, so maybe one of you will find one and prove me wrong, but I just feel like I have to stitch on these Felicity Jane layouts because it adds to that vibe. It looks so cool. And then lastly, I do have some black Nuvo drops, so I am going to do 2 little clusters of Nuvo drops next to my 2 embellishment corners. But I think I'm done after that. So I really like how this one came together. It was really fun inspiration. I'm really glad I could have used it this way. So I will link all the info for Festive Fridays in the description. So check it out as well as our website. I'll link that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.